I think we are ready to head into the next best of two. We've got an interesting one today, 7th and 2nd in the rankings. Core Overflow versus Team Name for Saya. Team Name for Saya definitely a bit the underdogs. I should also include that, of course, it's a slop team, so he put the dot in front of
right, dot, and then just absolute nonsense in between all of the other shenanigans that are going on. But on the other side, Core Overflow has been a monstrous team in this season. They've been coming out and getting wins against some of really strong teams, including Light, Comeback Kings, who we just watched, and going 1-1 with Finesse, who has been kind of a powerhouse. Yeah, exactly. So they're here to stay, and Team Name for Saya has a mountain to climb in front of them.
Absolutely. But if they can make an upset here, it'll be massive for the momentum in the league. But we might also just see some absolute dominant play. I mean, Core Overflow, 3 of the best players in the world easily. Streak, former rank 1, as he likes to talk about in his videos. In Overflow, Elo Heaven, literal brothers.
Yeah, exactly.
Very good synergy there. For sure, Team Name for Saya is on the... it's their match to win, for sure.
Right. The bands coming through, what are you thinking about these? I do like the Zentaro band, actually.
Yeah, as we just saw, I mean, Zentaro able to output so much damage. I wasn't able to catch the second band, I guess. My eyes kind of glazed over. Who was it?
I believe it was... Oh, I looked away for a second to check my notes.
I also looked away for a second. Yeah, okay, Drek coming out from both teams. I mean, just such a strong and versatile pick right now. He could be goalie for Team Name for Sai. He could be forward, though looking like Aimee is going to be the goalie. Drek Juliet, a strong comp, going to be able to get some KOs. And seeing the Asher pick is a bit of a surprise, knowing how buggy she is, but she's not exactly entirely out. Slop on the goalie, Lumos, and Borg on the brawler. Going to be a interesting match for sure.
Okay, I'm getting info from the chat that it was an Atlas band.
Atlas band.
Which makes sense.
Yeah, makes sense. Also, if Awakenings were in Atlas's favor, definitely something you want to watch out for. Elo Heaven positioned to take that first barrier in Overflow, looking like he's going to get the second, misses the shotgun, and gets punished instead. Great stuff from Lumos. As he might say, it's so chill for Team Name for Saya right now. In Overflow, putting on some midfield pressure, looking to give Asher the rock so she can stuff it right into Slop's face. Elo Heaven instead going to stuff Borg right out of the game. The Aimee turret goes down. They're going to find 2. Do not find the barrier. Instead, Slop on stagger. Looks like he's going to die soon. In Overflow, just waiting for a pass. Borg coming back up, though, so maybe they're going to be able to hold on defense. Slop actually positioning more aggressively.
Wait a minute.
Is he going to steal their orb?
He was about to steal the orb! Oh my goodness. Lumos is going to have to play second goalie here for the time being, but it's looking like it's going to be able to give them enough time to respawn. Oh, this is already a great game. This is already a pristine night market game, if you ask me. Streak sends out that turret, and Elo Heaven sends out that giant shield, trying to get some KOs, trying to send Lumos into the blast zone, but instead it's going to be Elo Heaven getting sent in, and Slop going to have to try and find some way to keep this core ahead of him.
I mean, look, I was in a call with Kaz, and he was coaching Arcane Chicken, and also Lumos. Just what a shotgun, easily parrying Streaks clear there. Good stuff. But I was in a call with Kaz, and he was coaching Arcane Chicken, and something he gave Arcane was there are 2 modes for Juliet. You got Borg mode, which is killing people, and Bell's mode, which is scoring. But as we saw, Borg, absolute master of just finding those kills and able to remove some pressure. In Overflow, looking for the second barrier. The core flip goes out. He finds the pass to Elo Heaven. It's a quick one for Core Overflow. I mean, they're showing why they're the second-ranked team right now. That coordination, absolutely monstrous.
I watched last week's match from Team Name for Saya versus Comeback Kings, and Slop pulled out the Aimee on Atlas's lab, I believe. And I just wasn't super impressed by it. And I don't know. I don't think it's the world's... It's his best pick. I think his Kai is a lot better. I know the arguments can be made about which one's actually better, etc., etc. But
Yeah, I think he's trying to play for the meta, but sometimes comfort is what you need. However, Borg easily finding the kill on Elo Heaven. They're focusing that damage on Asher. Drek and Juliet, such a strong killing combination. That Drek special outputting so much damage. What a clear from Streak. Slop barely missing that cyber swipe, losing a barrier for it. Elo Heaven's going to come up. Borg is on life support, almost cracked. If in Overflow and Elo Heaven can find a kill, they'll be in good shape to take this point, I think. The special goes out from Lumos, spreading that damage all around. It doesn't last long enough to make any significant difference, but he does almost get the barrier. Borg staggered, staying alive very well right now, but Elo Heaven's going to find that kill. And in Overflow, Elo Heaven putting the pressure on Slop right now. He has the flip, and Lumos playing some incredible midfield, making sure it does not get past. So it looks like they're going to be able to stall out the death timer for Borg.
I can't believe they did, and that core flip was so huge, able to land that onto that barrier. Borg is able to walk up here. Nice dribbles, and as he goes into Bell's mode, but Slop is not going to be able to clear that one away in time. The brothers are here, and they are battling with this core, trying to land the passes, trying to make sure that they've got the good opportunities. Lumos with a great stuff to make sure that core flip does not end up with Slop not able to getting the clear, but a couple of really quick shots, and that's another score for the members of Core Overflow. They're on set point.
Yeah, it's on this map, especially sometimes it can be real hard to read the bounces and angles. There's some whack geometry going on there. That was just barely out of Slop's strike range. Borg taking some heavy damage, but so does Elo Heaven. Finds the kill with the special strike shot from Slop, caught by In Overflow, but the pressure is still being put on the midfield by Lumos. He finds the clear. Borg looking to take a barrier, he does. The Ivy turret goes out from Streak. Defensive use there. All those hits being able to help find a clear. In Overflow almost gets the double lock.
Wow.
Elo Heaven catches on the rebound, and in Overflow, just that coordination, just the rebound to Elo Heaven, he gets the barrier, rebounds right back to Overflow, and they're going to score. I mean, it's that synergy from the forward duo.
This is the kind of collapse that you need to see on Night Market is hanging around that middle block and being able to play around it, play with each other, and collapse in that way.
Absolutely. The draft in favor for Shriek, but he's not going to take Timeless, actually looking to deny the Adren Rush. Interesting choice. I think the pressure might be better. Slop also not taking Timeless, actually opting for extra special. I don't know if that's play. More turrets are great, but the quality of a Timeless turret, all those hits, so much pressure. But it's definitely kind of a toss-up. Interesting draft for sure. We're going to see how this works out for both teams.
We also see that Borg is going to take Unstoppable here, even in the face of this Asher Shield, which can do some very wonky, funky things if there's an Unstoppable player at the end of it. I see the reasoning, but it's going to create some interesting situations for sure, as Elo Heaven is actually... For sure.
Lumos staggered into Overflow, easily finds that kill with his Drekar shotgun sweet spot. He's also got 2 sparks, power and agility, so those stats are definitely coming through right now. In Overflow, putting the pressure on Slop, struggling to hold a little bit, but he does find the pass to Lumos, who can find the clear. Borg waits out the good patience from Borg, waiting out the glitch pop. Turret goes down. The ball in a bit of limbo right now, but Elo Heaven is going to manage to clear it out. The core flip goes out, bouncing it off the corner. What a demon angle.
That's a demon angle and a half. And as you play more, you realize, like, oh, there's a little bit of geometry like right on that corner that isn't like a complete, like, just clean angle. So you can bounce it off of there, but there's no way that was intentional, right? Right? Surely.
I mean, who knows? These are some real good players. They might just have that unlock. Borg finding a quick barrier streak. Easily finding the clear, though. The flip goes out just from the punch from Borg. The turret goes down. Defense streak right now, though he's playing Imi goalie. I mean, Imi's not exactly dead at the goal line, but she's not the strongest there either, so it's great to see Streak holding it down. Lumos is staggered, and they're fishing for the kill, but instead they're going to be able to score. What a strike shot from Streak, inches from the barrier. They're able to get that save. Borg, though, right up there, putting the pressure right back on them. Staggered on Borg, but he's got the flip. Slop also has the flip out. If Borg can catch this with a flip, it might be a point. What a catch and save from Streak.
And that's where that extra special might have come in handy, right? The little bit more, the one more shot from that turret might be what the difference was in that strike war. And now it's Borg is going to be KO'd, and they're able to collapse on this barrier. If they could just get out of the Lumos out of the way, they finally do. Oh, that's so frustrating when you're the Drek right there, but it was enough for Borg to come online and stuff it right back into that Imi, and that's so unfortunate if you're Core Overflow, but it's a lot of momentum if you're TN4S.
Yeah. Absolutely amazing capitalization from Borg there. Just off the respawn, walks right up, stuffs it right in. It's looking like this match is actually surprisingly even despite their places in the standings. Both teams having some real strong players. Slop holding on well right now. Lumos also playing some great defense. Borg on life support. Flip up for in overflow though. We're going to see how he uses that. He might actually use it to get the kill if Borg mispositions just slightly though. Borg is positioning very well to survive right now. And it's not going to be the unstopped player that gets killed by the Asher Wall, but is instead going to be Drek. Elo Heaven looking to get 2 kills and another barrier, and he does. Incredible forward play from both in overflow and Elo Heaven. The special parrying Strop Slike there.
That was such a good, like, there were 2 really good passing plays. That volley at the end, but also the core flip. That was a pass right to Elo Heaven to get the other barrier and dodge the Ivy turret. That's so smart, and it's kind of, I don't want to say a lost art, but it's definitely something you don't see a ton of. The core flip pass.
Right, though I think we will see more of that in NASL. These players are, you know, in a coordinated setting, it's definitely going to be a lot easier to call those things and coordinate off that. Elo Heaven, I mean, just barely in time to take the first barrier and right in position to take the second. The flip on streak, he's going to use it. Almost at the demon angle, but Slop, oh my gosh, dies for the clear, but what an incredible save. Backing up to get the distance. Punished for backing up, but it's what was needed to clear that out. Borg trying to hold on for defense, but in overflow, just shotgunning him into the goal and the core.
I mean, it's just been clean execution, and this is something that I have in my notes from every set that I've watched from this team. Is they are always understanding exactly where to be and how to position their shots. It's a masterclass in how you play in a coordinated environment.
Absolutely, and Elo Heaven getting the stagger swagger is going to be pretty huge. They've been stacking the damage on him, and now if they do, they'll be punished for it. The Slop getting built different, forcing, forcing Streak onto the heavy impact, but both those characters, I mean, they're both on Imi, obviously. Multiple impact tags going to make good use of that. Or getting the Orb Ponderer. Lumos getting the hot shot. Very, one of Drek's best in slots for sure. Great draft for Lumos. It's both teams one out there, and we're going to see what happens. The barrier goes down fast for Streak, but Lumos goes down fast as well.
Oh my god, this is murder. I mean, holy cow. Where's the team?
And, you know, before I'm even done talking about one person getting KO, they find 2 and the score. What offensive and oppressive play from Core Overflow right there. Amazing stuff.
They always do this as well, as they dump damage onto the same people at the same time in exactly the right ways. It's just like, oh, obviously you target the same players, but just coordinating those cooldowns is something that is super hard to do effectively, but they always manage to do it. As speaking of cooldowns, that shotgun has just set them right there and definitely is cooling down any momentum that Team TN4S had.
Yeah, it's a bit rough for Team TN4S right now. In Overflow and Elo Heaven just playing such oppressive offense. Streak also just absolutely holding it down. Borg and Lumos looking for what opportunities they have, but right now it's looking like they won't have many. Slav has the flip. This is going to be forced to use it, I think, but not going to find the clear, and the turret's going to get the kill. No defender there. They're going to score 3-0 so fast. Core Overflow has ramped up. They're showing their dominance right now.
It's every time I watch this team, I'm just floored by just like, oh, wait a minute. This is what, like, the closest thing we have to, like, task levels of gameplay. Because they place their shots perfectly every time. Like, you saw a couple of times during that last set, the way that they did the diagonal right around that Imi to catch just the end tip of the Night Market barrier. And it's like, yes, obviously it's something that we've all done, but the way that they're able to do it every single time and setting it up so that they do it every single time is the difference maker.
Absolutely. They're just so consistent And going into game 2, team name for Saya is definitely gonna be on the back foot here. But if they can draw core overflow, that would be a huge victory in this case. I mean, after that kind of performance from COW, someone in the chat, Bobadex, actually, another NSL player, talking about underperformance from core overflow. They usually win 1.25 times faster.
Oh my God.
And honestly, just might be true. They're just so dominant this season of NASL.
Yeah, I haven't taken too deep of a dive into the stats yet, but that is something that I've seen. I think it was Elo Heaven was just at the top of like every single stat that was important for a forward in the East. He was like in top 5 for like every single one. Yeah, like it overflows top 5 in average goals, top 5 in average saves as a forward, top 5 in average damage. Like just the fact that he's able to do so much and so efficiently is the difference. Like, how are you able to be all of that at once?
Absolutely. I mean, Elo Heaven, he can take. I'm sure he could take pretty much any scoring forward and just make it work. He's an absolute monster on the field. I mean, just look at the Asher performance. He was getting focused down for damage. Didn't even matter. They were trying to take him out. Did not matter. He just scored. He kept scoring. He found kills everywhere he went. Absolutely just dominant stuff from him. And in overflow as well, finding those passes at the slightest opportunity. The synergy is just so strong to deal with. I think Team Name for Saya has to focus on disrupting that a little bit, maybe to make some room for Slop to breathe.
Right, exactly. That is just like we saw in the in the previous match between Prodigy and Comeback Kings. Once Yeesh had a little bit more room to breathe, he was able to like actually. They were able to put on a lot of good pressure in that same situation with the Imeon Night Market. And if they can manage that again, if they can somehow disrupt the coordination between those two brothers, it will result in them feeling so much more free to do with the core what they want. But the question is how, and I think it's gonna end up coming to making sure that they are able to consistently put out more damage and make them feel a little less safe.
Absolutely. I do want to see if Team Name for Saya can tee up for a comeback here, but we're just waiting on game 2 of this set, and I'm curious if you have any predictions for how this match might go.
Well,
actually, we're loading in right now, so we're gonna see.
Yeah, we're about to find out as it's
Yeah.
Night Market again.
Yeah.
Wow.
Map draft looking Luna Slop looking at the Luna. I'm not sure if he is going to finalize that pick. The triple Asher ban, honestly, in their position, I would too. What do you do after Elo Heaven does that to you? Zentaro banned from Core Overflow. We're gonna see how this match goes. It's gonna be interesting. Slop looking like he will actually take the Luna. Oh, never mind. Okay, got a little excited there, unfortunately.
A little excited. I understand. You never know. You never know what could disrupt them, right? Maybe the added damage from Luna, which is a lot, could be the difference maker. As the X and the Era come online, is it going to be for both teams?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, what else do you do here? Era X, such a dominant comp. I kind of wish we got the full dual, the full Ember Monarchs, mirror match. But this will be an interesting match as well. Lumo, such a good midfielder. Borg, such a good brawler. But also you're against Elo Heaven and Overflow. What can you do? We're gonna see Castellast as actually the start as well. So this is gonna be big. Best in slot for both X and Era.
Right, and that's probably why it was picked by both parties for both slots, right? It is just perfect.
The midfield boxing going on right now. Pace a bit slow. Obviously, X is basically not a character until level 2, but once he hits level 2, oh my god, everybody knows what that character is capable of. The damage still coming out from Borg, though. Elo Heaven on life support. Streak already down a barrier. Pressure is being put out from Team Name for Saya right now. Elo Heaven staggered. Are they going to be looking for that kill? Lumos also staggered. Both eras in a bit of dangerous position, but a great beam from Lumos is going to finish off Elo Heaven. Down a player, can Streak hold his berry? He has to use the flip. The pressure's still on, though. Lumos covering well. In Overflow is actually going to find the opportunity to kill Lumos and Borg. And oh my god, he's just It's either Elo Heaven or in overflow, but you can't stop them both. Slop perfectly defending that double lock
Wow.
there. Oh my gosh.
Then that was super close. It was just a little bit off, a little bit closer up, and it would have been a very different story. But Slop was able to clear that super nicely. And this is an opportunity for the IME to really shine, right? You know, since its X is going to be lumbering around in the midfield, and Era's doesn't have like the range and the damage to really put on top of you. IME can really shine and put out the damage, put out the pressure, put out that forward aggression that is characteristic of her goalie, but Slop is going to get a little bit bounced around as Borg is waiting to come back online. This goal is open, the goal gates are down, and Lumos is in a prime position to try and help this defense, but it's still very scary. They have a lot of good scoring potential.
Absolutely. The flip goes out from Lumos, almost finds it on Streak, but Streak positions well to find the clear. Borg looking for a kill on Int Overflow. He is going to find it. Elo Heaven getting beat out in the midfield by Lumos in the strike war. Borg on stagger, but without the other brawler, it's going to be hard to find a kill on him. Maelstrom a little easy to react to, and Beam only being able to stuff at perpendicular angles. Both teams' goals open. Borg almost scores on Slot, but great cyber sight from Slot there. Unfortunately, all three
Wow.
members of Team Name for Saya beat out just barely there. Oh my gosh.
Then that glitch pop was so disorienting.
Yeah.
They almost weren't able to react to it, it seems like, and just gonna slip right on by is the core. There it goes, and oh, you hate to see it, but they're not out for the count just yet. As X is gonna be back in this ring trying to box out Lumos. Not gonna be good opportunities so far for these goal barriers to go down. And if Elo Heaven could just get one or two more good shots here, then in Overflow and Borg can go at it, and finally someone will get KO'd.
Borg on stagger, but so is In Overflow, and In Overflows and Borg Special are down. So neither of them are going to be fishing for kills anytime soon. Elo Heaven, though, is going to fish for this barrier, and the core flip goes out so patient, just waiting for those goal gates to open. He knows Slop can't make it in time. Has to take a bit of a 50-50 there. Unfortunately for Slop, Elo Heaven reads it well. It's 2-0 up for Core Overflow. They're still just so dominant, but it looks like Team Name for Saya is holding on a bit better than they were in the last match.
Right, I think this is a lot more favorable for them now that they have a little bit more room to breathe. Even if Elo Heaven is staggered here, it's not going to be exactly the position that they want to be. They want to make sure that those KOs are good and that Borg is healthy, but he is not, and that is a KO. Lewis has done a good job at staying alive for the time being, but really hasn't found like a lot of these tornadoes that he's really been wanting. Hasn't been able to keep Borg healthy and alive and sped up. It's unfortunate, and finally Borg has come back online, but in Overflow finally gets KO'd, and this is the first opportunity for Team A for Psyaf to really make a difference.
Right. But, I mean, Streak has two barriers up. They're going to be fighting an uphill battle even on just this point. Great use of abilities by Slot there to find the KO, but Lumos still on stagger, and now both members of Core Overflow are up. The pressure is on. They find the kill on Lumos. Great glitch prop from Slop to steal the core from In Overflow, but it's not going to be enough. Finds the pass to Elo Heaven. Elo Heaven's going to score 3-0 for Core.
3-0. And honestly, you asked me at the beginning of this match what the score was going to be. I was hesitant to say anything, but I really am expecting another 3-0 from Core Overflow. I don't have faith that Team Day for Saya can make these adjustments quickly, because from watching them and from seeing how their results have played out throughout the season, they haven't made too many adjustments to really make sure that they can get themselves ahead in these matches. It's unfortunate, but I we need to see something. We need to see some vibrato.
Need some signs of life from Team Name for Saya, unfortunately. I mean, it's a little hard. Core Overflow, honestly, just basically an anaconda at this point. You're being strangled on the offense. What can you do? Borg is already staggered In Overflow, playing that incredibly well. Elo Heaven looking to place some midfield pressure, but Slob managed to find the clear In Overflow, damaged a little bit. Borg also on stagger, both X's in a dangerous spot. Streak is going to give up a barrier there, but it looks like it'll be okay. The Maelstrom finds one for Core Overflow. Actually, it's going to be the beam from Elo Heaven and not In Overflow to take the kill there. The beam from Lumos almost finds it, not quite enough. Slop loses 2 barriers. His goal is open. That Imi turret is right there. Great clear from Slop, but can he get it out of the woods? Not quite yet. Lumos playing great defense, wins the midfield exchange, wins it again. That's what they need. Goals barriers go down for Core Overflow, and it's looking good for Team NASL for this point, actually. Slop has the flip up, has to flip to save it from the Maelstrom, unfortunately. Great timing from Elo Heaven, and Elo Heaven looking to score right now. Borg moves back to defend. I think it's looking okay so far, but anything can happen, and anything does. The strike shot misses. Elo Heaven manages to sneak it by.
And we talk about streak there. I mean, really, that even though the goal barriers went down during that power play, completely held cool, was able to even keep the core flip, and the rotations that he's been having to put on these aggressive Imi turrets and to put on these, like, the nice strike shots to keep up the midfield pressure has just been really, really clean overall. Even if he gets trounced around by that tornado this time around, he's still got a very good opportunity to stay alive, as he barely does not clip off the side and is able to cyber swipe away Borg, preventing him from really going after that core again. And this is the kind of goalie play that you need to be seeing from Imi. It is, again, towing that line between offense and defense.
Absolutely, and Streak is a master at this. I mean, he's probably the best Imi goalie around, other than You Already Lose. So it's no surprise that he is playing this incredibly well. I'm actually surprised Slop is not banning out the Imi and is letting Streak have it. I think it's better to maybe force Streak onto a different character and then play a more comfortable pick of your own, rather than trying to take Streak to the Imi gauntlet. But Lumos, it's a little hard to defend when both your forwards are down. That Maelstrom is going to tap it in.
Oh, goodness. And not much you can do there. Borg finally finding some KOs, finding the brawler advantage, especially in levels, and that's going to help him a lot to try and get Team NASL back onto the board. But is he going to be able to do it consistently? Well, there goes Loomis.
Right. Slop finding the cyber slight midfield, though, so it looks like they're going to be able to hold. They just need to hold for 7 more seconds. Good striking from Slop, winning that strike war against in overflow to not lose a barrier. Borg brawling pretty well, keeping his health bar up, not dying too much. He's managing to test overflow, which is pretty impressive considering how good both the forwards of Core Overflow are. Borg, though, now close to dying. That debuff from Era really punished him in overflow, finding the damage. Slop, though, holding on well. Lumos holding on well. Streak's got the flip, though, so it's going to be a bit of an ask to score this. In overflow, also has a flip, finds a kill on Borg. I think he's just waiting for an opportunity to use it.
Oh, and there it goes.
Oh, no, Streak.
Streak, oh no, wait, what's going on? Glitch Pop comes out, and so does the Maelstrom, but not going to find too much here. Slop is able to keep this one alive, keep the barrier from going down. Streak forced to use the core flip there because of a weird angle, and Elohim was able to at least get that one back bounced. In Overflow's in a good position here to collapse, but Elohim's a little bit low and doesn't have elusive, so can't really make too many super aggressive plays. But a wild glitch pop and a good strike from In Overflow, and that is going to be set point once again for Core Overflow.
Lumos missing the strike there, just a bit unfortunate. If he had, they might have found the save and clear and turned the point around. But it's not over yet for Team NASL. They've been playing a lot better in this set, at least. 1-2 is not a dead scoreline. There is comeback potential. Borg pushing up, seeing if he can get some pressure on Streak OS TTV. Streak OS TTV, he does. In Overflow, though, also putting some pressure of his own. Great cyber swipe from from Slop onto Elo Heaven. The flip goes out from Borg. They're going to score. Not much you can do when your abilities are mostly proactive. Once again, the wind up on Glitch Pop on cyber swipe, not going to be able to catch the court in fast situations like that.
Right, exactly. And you can tell that he was ready for it. He was prepared, but even if you're ready, it doesn't mean that you can exactly time this precisely because of how much time there is to wait for the core flip to go. Really good stuff coming out of In Overflow, of course. Excuse me, Borg and In Overflow for getting some good damage here.
Borg managing to take a barrier and find the kill on Elo Heaven. Both gold barriers are going to open Streak without a flip, but Borg just barely misses the bell ringer to score that. Though even if he had hit it, maybe Streak was evading, so he might have been able to save it. Good stuff from Streak, the awareness to evade there. In overflow is looking a bit low, and the pressure is on. They're just a tad overextended. The Imi turret goes out to keep the upfield. They're going to find the kill on overflow. Elo Heaven looking dangerous, but he's putting that midfield pressure on. Lumos snipes him with the beam. Are we going to see Streak get scored on here? Lumos misses the shot. No, the glitch pop from Streak keeping it upfield. So unfortunate. That was an opportunity lost. Team name for Saya unable to capitalize there, but it's not over yet. Elo Heaven and Overflow are back up, but they're not able to keep the core for too long. Lumos and Borg playing pretty well, and of course the core control from Slop pops the turrets. He's playing very well this game compared to the last one for sure.
Oh, 100%. Doing a lot better at just keeping this core downfield, making sure the Streak has to keep performing, which I think is a very big difference here. Slop sends the core flip, sends it to Lumos, able to land it, and that's going to be a good turnaround from T-Name for Saya, getting back on the board. 1-1 in this set, and they're not done yet. They can make this thing happen.
Lumos absolutely with the "it's so chill" in their comms right now. There is no doubt in my mind. Extra spec coming up, one best in slot for Imi, but of course the Stinger is also an option. It's going to be interesting to see what Slop opts for. He opts for the damage. It makes sense, wants to help stack that damage on. Streak actually taking the Deadeye over the extra spec. Once again, extra spec great for scoring, but if you can stack the damage in a brawler comp like this, it's going to be great. Denying the build different from X, but X is going to have X Maximus up all the time. He gets the happy star instead. The bulk up goes up. And actually, we missed the first draft. I forgot about this with spec training. Swagger is going to be big on Elo Heaven, and I mean, the big fish from Streak is just helping him defend.
Helping him defend just a little bit, indeed. Helping make sure that at least able to keep those glitch pops up constantly. Borg is going to have a little bit of a rough time here. Going to try and contest with an overflow, but going to get a couple of abilities sending him to that KO. In overflow might end up to the same fate here if he's not careful, but has to make sure that he can stay alive. Elo Heaven with a great pass back.
Wow. Unfortunate clear from Slop there. They I mean, Elo Heaven reacting well there, making sure to strike that right back, strike on cooldown for Slop, and they're going to score. Definitely that X Maximus is going to make a play here because he's just got it up again. And look, he already cast it. He's swinging. He wants to kill Borg. He knows that if they can get Borg down, then they're always in a good position to score, even if Lumos plays incredibly well on defense. But Borg and in overflow, both on life support, in a dangerous position. The flip goes out from Lumos. Great stuff. Finds the barrier off the corner angle. The beam goes out, almost stuffs it in, but great defense from Core Overflow. Couldn't tell who struck it there. Oh, they find a stray kill. Find two. Borg was staggered, but Lumos was full HP. Just a little bit unfortunate right there. The Stinger damage is playing out well for Slop, but there's no one to capitalize. But he holds it down. Both his forwards are back up. It's looking all right for Team Name for Siren.
Can I get a hold in chat? That was amazing as this double KO comes out now, and it's time for Streak to hold. Has the core flip, able to use it, but not going to be able to time it correctly. A great stuff from Lumos, and that's another goal for Team Name for Saya as they start climbing this mountain.
Also, just the awareness from Lumos that when he's stuffed, he should pass to Borg for the easy goal. Not that the strike back anyway, but just that's like a top player thing. Just having that awareness of like, oh, I'm in a tight situation, but let me make sure my mouse is correct. You know, and while I'm speaking, Borg is gonna find the kill on inner overflow. The pressure is on for Core Overflow to keep this one alive. Both barriers went down so fast. In overflow went down so fast. Evo Heaven managed to take a barrier of his own, and in overflow is back up. But Team Name for Saya holding on well. It's 1-1-1-1.
Most was kind of dancing around the wrong sides a couple of times. Just they kept clearing it away from Lumos and was not able to keep up that midfield pressure and help out Borg to try and score this goal. But they've got another opportunity this time. A great cross up, and that's another set point for Team Name for Saya. And all of a sudden, Core Overflow's dominance looking like it's getting shut down.
Yeah, there's definitely a chink in the armor right now. Let's see if Team Name for Saya can capitalize. It would be absolutely massive. I'm very excited, personally, to see a Juggernaut go down, but it's not like I don't like Core Overflow. I mean, look at this forward duo right now. Just as I say it, they almost take down Borg immediately, but Borg managing to hold on. Elo Heaven instead going to be the one scared of getting KO'd, and Borg is going to be able to find it. That Castle Ass, making sure he has the time to finish that off. It was the starting training after all. Great glitch pop from Streak, but it's not going to be enough to keep the core upfield. Borg finds a barrier. They're looking for 2. The turret goes out. The spec training Stinger in overflow is his health bar is gone. Imy's got some real damage from Slop's Imy has some real damage this time around. The beam goes out from Lumos, finds the stuff. Borg looking to score. Lumos catching the clear on the bottom side. It's real dangerous for overflow. They're low as hell. Elo Heavens, okay, manages to get the orb, so he holds on, but in overflow does not. The flip still up for Slop. Can they find this point? Team name for Saya. Looking like they just might. Streak playing great defense, but Borg, unlucky, knocked right to where he should be to score that. What a set for team name for Saya.
Oh, that's so frustrating if you're whoever bounced him that way. You have to be thinking, oh, I can't believe I just did that. But if they can, it's a mental battle. I think that they're crumbling right now in the mental category. They just need to bring it back as the draft comes online.
And there's the other best in slot for Imly, Timeless Creator. Surely Streak is going to look to take that, or he might look to take Missile Prop to get some real damage out. Era taking the Timeless to deny, but that is a rough pick for those of you who don't know. Timeless doesn't actually give Era Maelstrom that much. All it does is increase your max charge time, give you a little bit more size. Monumental is definitely the better pick. I think actually Streak kind of smart waiting to force somebody to deny him the Timeless, specifically the Era, so that he could bait them into drafting poorly and getting the missile instead. Kind of a bit of a meta game right there.
Was that a mind game? Was that?
I think Streak just mind controlled Lumos into drafting poorly. Oh my god.
Holy cow. And hey, maybe that's the advantage that they need. Maybe again they're down but not out. As this time around, it's the core overflow that needs to mount a comeback and try and keep this tournament match alive. But Int Overflow is definitely not alive any longer. Streak is going to have to try and put on this offensive pressure and keep this one downfield. But finally, Respawn comes alive. Borg is staggered, but so is Elo Heaven. There's so much damage flying around all over the place, and there's so much to keep track of, and this is prime Omega Strikers, if you ask me.
Speaking of flying around, that core definitely flew around when Slop got that barrier, and what a cyber swipe to save the bottom one. Borg just in time to make sure it does not reach the top one either. Goal open for Core Overflow. They're looking a little weak right now against team name for Saya. I'm surprised. They've just been so dominant. This is some interesting stuff to see happening in Overflow. Still staggered. Borg managing to heal up off of Slop's orb. Can they find the kill on Overflow? And if they do, I think they might be able to score as well. Though for sure they have the advantage. Unlucky bounce to get that barrier. Night market moment for sure.
Night market moment, and this core bouncing around is going to be a super night market moment. With the overtime and the added speed, it's just so hard to predict exactly which way this core is going to go at any moment, and you have to be on your toes, as Streak is going to be able to send the strike shot to make sure that Borg doesn't get that bounce back score. This is going to be a really good opportunity if Into Overflow can just stay alive for just a little bit longer and walk towards this goal. The bell ringer not going to be able to find the core. Still staggered, and Borg has a good opportunity here. Elo Heaven trying to pass it to his dead teammate, but is going to bounce it off the wall instead, and is going to land in the goal. And Core Overflow is going to be able to finally make some sense of what's going on.
Facts. I mean, incredible angle from Elo Heaven. They're hitting it around Slop. Incredible offense there. Even capitalizing on, once again, they're just so good at capitalizing on like the slightest opportunities. Incredible stuff. Borg, though, right there, unable to find barrier, but Streak is unable to stop that flip either. So eventually one does go down. The turret up from Streak OSDTV, the missile prop giving the range it needs, but can Lumos and Borg get another? The goal is open, the flip is out. Lumos almost misses, but Borg is right there to finish it off. Good stuff from team name for Saya. A bit of a scramble at that point. So much happened.
Yeah, I didn't. I was like, wait a minute, what sent that person into the blast zone? And it was a glitch bomb. I was like, wait a minute. Oh, that makes a lot more sense. Again, just chaos here as Streak is gonna try and clear this one away. Elo Heaven finally able to land another goal barrier here as Borg is getting staggered into Overflow. Not gonna be able to find this. The strike shot is what's going to be able to finally do it for Borg as both of these Ivy turrets come online, and they're going to try and get this pressure towards the other's goal, but it's just kind of ping-ponging around in the team name for Saya field. Glitch Pop comes alive, and so is the rest of everybody on the field, but into Overflow is staggered again, as well as Lumos. And it seems like every 10 seconds another player gets staggered, another player goes down. This Maelstrom might be exactly what they need to keep Slop down, but Borg able to finally secure this KO. If there's one opportunity that Streak has, it could be to KO Borg right here, but it's not going to go for it. Instead, it's going to focus on this core control as the Maelstrom comes through, not finding anything. The Glitch Pop finally into Overflow is alive, and Streak is able to save this goal barrier once again. How he's been able to hold on to these goal barriers is insane.
Yeah, unfortunate strike shot from Slop there. I think it just came up, not enough time for him to react and clear into the corner. But Streak absolutely playing some wonderful defense there, and the IME pressure, that turret forcing Slop to lose a barrier. He was down a player, and it didn't even matter. Streak, just such a good goalie. His fundamentals are just too strong. In Overflow, going to find some early damage on Borg. Not going to find the KO. It's a bit of a pattern in this game where we see a lot of damage, but it takes a second to get the KO, and that makes sense. X has to burn his cooldowns to get the damage, obviously, so he's going to have to wait a second to finish the job. Lumos finds the clear from for team name for Saya, pushing it out midfield. In Overflow, finally staggered. Borg also staggered. He's going to find the bell ringer, though, and the Maelstrom is going to get 2 barriers. Team name for Saya in prime position to score right now. Sloth has the flip up. Surprised he's not playing aggressive for it. But there it goes, and Lumos almost capitalizes, not quite. Elo Heaven has a flip, and everybody is back up. Still, definitely core Overflow on the back foot here, having to play a little more defensive with their goal barriers down, while Slop has 2. Borg has the flip. Lumos got his own. Surprised he doesn't flip there just to score, and Borg is going to lose his, dying to in Overflow and Elo Heaven. And now it's Slop's turn to be on the back foot, but Lumos, great midfielding, winning out that strike war. Great glitch pop. That beam, so unfortunate from Lumos. This match, at this point, is absolutely like back and forth all over the place. In Overflow finds the kill on Lumos.
It's so dicey, right? Because everything is hanging on a knife's edge. There's just one piece of damage that could end up going one way. There's one 50-50 that core flip that could end up going right into your goal. Exactly.
It's as you say it. Like, they get one punish, they find the barrier, and immediately in Overflow finds that flip for the goal. Unfortunate that Lumos couldn't flip earlier there. He had his own opportunity to score, but it is going to set 5. Something I did not expect from this matchup. Good performance from Team Name for Saya so far, and every set has been just back and forth. It's not like they are getting stomped like they were in the first one. Amazing stuff. Great to see them make those adjustments that you said they couldn't.
Right, exactly. Listen, I'm always one who enjoys being proven wrong, but let's talk about the draft.
The stacks on stacks for Lumos is going to be a big deal. The adrenaline rush from Imi. If Slop can pick up some kills, then he can definitely play some Yeesh style goalie. The unstop on Elo Heaven might be interesting, allowing you to get comboed by X easier, but you also won't die to stray cyber swipes, turrets, etc., etc. In Overflow, already staggered, eating that turret damage. Borg looking for the kill. Instead, Lumos is going to find a barrier. The glitch hop goes out so that Lumos can look for 2. They're not quite able to. Streak playing well in defense. Elo Heaven winning these strike wars midfield. I mean, he's just so good. Streak's glitch pop not quite where it needed to be to get that. Borg laying out the damage. The goal is open for core Overflow. What a finish from Slop. The adrenaline rush is going to proc. It's as I said. Does not find the goal, but he's going to be able to glitch pop it back. Ooh, what a glitch pop from Streak in return.
Wait, can Streak hold this?
Yes. No, oh, he does. Oh my gosh. In Overflow is back up, and it looks like Streak is able to hold that glitch pop. Incredibly clutch.
So clutch, and so is the strikes from the members of Core Overflow, as they are completely shutting down any scoring attempts that are coming through from the members of Team Name for Sai. As the core flip comes online, the bell ringer comes through. There's so much damage on Elo Heaven. I think that was his whole health bar. And the Maelstrom comes through, trying to make sure that an Overflow is going to be next, and he is. Streak has to hold this again with goal barriers down. The strike shot not going to be able to do it. Team Name for Saya is in a prime position to upset Core Overflow and take this one home with a tie.
Absolutely massive play from Team Name for Saya. But can we talk about Streak holding that first 1v3? Incredible stuff. I mean, that was the most clutch glitch pop I've ever seen. Just barely sneaking it past 2 forwards. But it's exactly what he needed. Unfortunately for Streak, he was not able to hold the rest of the goal. However, fortunately for Core Overflow, they're going to be able to find a kill on Borg, but they're going to lose 2 barriers for it. It's 2v3. If they can capitalize, though it doesn't look like they will because Borg is going to be coming back up soon. Yeah, it's a little dangerous. Streak. Oh my gosh, what a cyber swipe to stop that glitch pop angle from going in overflow, capitalizing off those rebounds. The maelstrom from Elo Heaven just tapping it in. What great timing. I mean, as we mentioned before, in overflow, Elo Heaven, such great synergy. They're just reading each other's plays perfectly.
They are reading each other's plays perfectly, and we talked about how the disruption is what really needed to happen for Team NA4S, and I think that this X-era combo is exactly what they needed. There's so much damage, there's so much chaos happening at all times, but if they can start trying to work around this new playstyle, then they can try and find that coordination again, and it's exactly what's going to unlock this double core flip. Getting exchanged, trying to get these goal in while the goal gates are down and everybody's still alive. Into overflow is in there, and Streak is trying to walk up to make sure that this goal gets scored. The turret comes online. Into overflow is down. Elo Heaven able to go crazy mix up, a crazy cross up to the top corner, and that is a goal for core overflow as it is a match point.
One pixel up or to the right there, and Lumos would have parried it with beam. Incredible mouse placement from Elo Heaven. I mean, his shot selection is just a little bit unreal. The turret goes down, Lumos finds it with the beam. They're going to get the first barrier, Team NA4S. They've been managing to take early leads every point. They just have to capitalize if they want to make this comeback. But unfortunately, this time it's going to be core overflow taking an early lead. Elo Heaven manages to get two, just a 1-2 punch so casually. Incredible stuff. Lumos has the flip, but and he's going to be forced to use it. Slav taking an unfavorable strike where he was guaranteed to lose if Lumos did not come back to help. So great stuff. What a bull rush from in overflow, sniping Borg off the map with that dash, and it looks like it's going to be all over from Team NA4S. But we have to applaud that performance. That was incredible stuff from both teams. I'm surprised it got that close at all. Great stuff.
That was such an intense set from both teams, really. They've been completely, both teams showed up today, showed that they are deserve to be a part of this league, deserve to be touted as the best of the best because they showed it. They really did. I mean,
oh my god, look at Streak's stats for just a second. Holy 147 saves, 8 assists. I mean, MVP Streak, he was holding it down. I mean, we saw so many 1v3s that he was just incredibly clutch on.
300 redirects. I can't even. That's insane. Like, and just like the little things too. Like Elo Heaven walking forward with the core and forcing Lumos to core flip there. Like that's such a. It's the little things, but dude, the fact that they can force things like that is insane. It's insane the mind games that these teams play.
Also, can we? I just want to. I was so flabbergasted by Streak not taking Timeless to mind control Lumos into drafting poorly. That was absolutely hilarious metagaming. I don't know if that was intentional. Maybe Streak in the chat can answer for us. But I see Vaughn saying weakest Streak performance. It was
most sane Streak performance.
Most sane Streak performance indeed. That was an amazing match from both teams. Great stuff. Lumo said mind control in the chat right now. Oh, mind control the Timeless. Someone give me a brain. But coming up next, we have probably the most massive match of the season. It's going to be commentated by Mystic and Combo, but DLS versus Light. What I mean.